Hello by watching this video. My name is Spot and welcome to my Pokemon gyms of every type. This is a brand new series I'm bringing to my channel and a different type of content that I've done before, so let me know how you guys feel about it. But in this series, I want to take you guys through my Pokemon gyms 1 through 8 and kind of how they would grow or like move on as I progress up the skill ladder, I guess to say, even though that's not necessarily how it works in Pokemon, stuff like that. It's just easier to think about it like linear in the way that we would for this video or such. It's getting too complicated, but I hope you guys understand and follow. I also don't really want any strict rules in this series or whatnot. I want to make it like semi-realistic where I can. So like not using legendaries or anything crazy like that. But at the same time, I just want to have fun and show you guys what Pokemon teams I would like to have if it was the first gym, second gym, and third gym. And just to preface again, this is my teams. This is what I would like to do. This is not the best teams. This is not anything like that. This is just my personal preference of what Pokemon I like and what I would do with teams and like themes and stuff like that that I would put around the gym as it goes on. So wait no further, let's hop into our first normal gym. Gym 1 will only contain 2 Pokemon, which I feel like is kind of typical and all a first gym really needs. Leading off will be Slackoth, and being the ace of the team will be Munchlax. Slackoth isn't a particularly strong Pokemon at the beginning, and not really in this situation either, but it serves a really good purpose as a duality and balancing out with a really powerful Munchlax early on in the game. The thing I kind of want to do with this gym, though, is I kind of want to have Resto Chesto. I know that's a very competitive and very difficult moveset to have to deal with early on in game, but I feel like having Slack Off with the Truant ability is a really good way to hold it back a little bit, even though Munchlax will be significantly harder afterwards. Now, I do look at this and I realize Munchlax may be the hardest ace of like a first gym out there, but I also think it would be probably somewhat comparable to Works Rampardos that you fight in Gen 4, so I don't think it's the worst in the world even with the Resto Chesto setup and ability. And if the challenger were to come up and beat me in a fight, of course I would give them rest as my TM, as you do for any gym and stuff like that, is give out TMs whenever you win, as well as thematically, I would love to have like a little Chesto Berry tree out front of the gym or whatnot, so they can come in and just grab a Chesto Berry and do exactly what I showed them what they can do. Gym 2 would start off very similar. Slackoth would still lead off and Munchlax would be still right behind. Just the only difference is the ace won't be Munchlax anymore. Instead, we'll step in Kamala, which I know Kamala doesn't necessarily fit the whole Resto Chesto build because of its ability Comatose, but I think it still works really well thematically. If you don't know what Comatose is, it's Kamala's signature ability. It makes it to where Kamala is virtually always asleep, so any status moves like burn or poison won't actually affect it, but it can still move and act normally, and it's not actually asleep, it just prevents status. We will stick with Rest though to give out to any like gym challenger that would come out at this point, because Slackoth and Munchlax will still use Resto Chesto. Gym 3 though will be the first time we start to really shuffle things around. We'll have a new TM to give out to new trainers and challengers out when they go ahead and defeat us, and it will be Takedown. Now, you may be asking why I'm taking away Rest from a whole team that's kind of centered around being sleepy and replacing it with a move that hits really hard very early on but has all that recoil damage. It's kind of a reckless move. That reason though is because Slackoth has now evolved into Vigoroth. So now Munchlax will go ahead and lead off and Kamala will come in second, and we'll finish off with Vigoroth being our ace at this point. And that boy certainly is not tired anymore. That boy is going to go in there and be reckless and crazy, and I feel like Takedown is such a really good move to go ahead and show that off initially. Also, I think Takedown's a pretty fun early type move to show to people because it might be at that point your strongest move to date at that point. If you have a normal type or really any Pokemon at all, 90 base power early on is very strong, but with 85 accuracy, it can miss a little too much, as well as at the end of the day, that recoil damage can scare anyone off. So I think it's a really good move to show off the pros and cons of having a move that hits really hard, but does recoil and can miss. At Gym 4, we're really loading up on physical attacking normal Pokemon at this point, so we need a little bit of defense to help that out. At this point, any really strong fighting type Pokemon can wipe the entire team, as well as any strong Pokemon defensively, especially a rock or steel type. So we need something that can go ahead and hit some Pokemon specially. So Munchlax and Kamala will still lead off the team, but we're going to have some really nice strong backup with Girafarig. Girafarig to me is a really fun choice to be able to deal with these fighting types coming up. A lot of the normal type gyms that you will watch or fight over time will use flying types, those normal birds, to go ahead and attack their fighting type weakness, instead of like having a nice really fun psychic little giraffe. And it's also a great way to hammer home that we have all physical attackers, and a lot of early normal types are physical attackers anyways, so being able to have a really good strong special Pokemon, it really helps out. And to end this team, Vigoroth will still be our ace for this team, but we could see that Vigoroth won't be lasting too much longer in this situation, but for the time being, we will also still give out Takedown as our TM. Gym 5 will actually now lead off with Vigoroth. Vigoroth went from our ace to our lead Pokemon, be able to come in kind of early, be a little bit faster than people would expect, and just get some nice chip damage into the first couple Pokemon. It is time now to replace Kamala though. I know it seems a little early on, but Kamala really does start to struggle already, even at Gym 4. It is a fairly weak base Pokemon. In its place though, I see a Pokemon that's really fun, really versatile, and can be really strong if used properly, and I feel like you can scale that accordingly to what gym you're at, that being Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a menace to anyone that knows or ever fought it competitively. Being able to use Eviolite with a really strong move pool, it just won't die sometimes, and using Recover, all that kind of stuff, it really is tough to plan for. And later on in the gym challenges, you can start to add Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Tri-Attack, all that crazy stuff that would really make Porygon 2 super powerful. Now, early on, you probably just go with Psybeam and Thundershock, nothing too crazy, but later on was really when he will become a straight menace. Following that, Girafarig is going to go ahead and stay the same, just be a nice little diversity pool right in the middle of our team. Munchlax, though, now has become a lot bigger and evolved into Snorlax. If you don't know, though, Munchlax evolves into Snorlax via happiness, so I think because of that, a really great way to tie in with this gym is to have a TM that uses a really strong normal move that gets better with high friendship. So now our brand new TM for this gym, for the 5th gym, will be Return. Gym 6 is now going to lead off with Porygon. Why? Because it's really funny to have just a super annoying Pokemon to go with first. He's going to chip damage every single person that comes in, and it's going to be really funny and really annoying to take out. Vigoroth's time, though, now has, I think, come to an end. I think before he turns into Slacking, it's time to move on and replace him a little bit earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and replace him with Ursaring. Obviously, losing that speed right now with replacing Vigoroth for Ursaring is going to hurt a little bit, but at least Ursaring can just hit really hard. And mostly I'm replacing Vigoroth now to get a little bit more momentum and a little bit more usage of Ursaring before they kind of go down the line and Ursaring starts to become a much better addition to the team when it evolves. I'm going to add one more member to this team though, and it's going to be one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Beware. Beware, I fell instantly in love with the first time I ever played Gen 7. It is something that I absolutely love, something I absolutely adore, and it is also great for our team currently at this point in time because we still don't really have necessarily anything that can attack those steel and rock types that we talked about previously. Following suit, though, our Girafarig has now learned Twin Beam and has evolved into a Farafrig. So they'll just kind of continue and do what they're doing, just a little bit better and be stronger. With Snorlax still as our ace, we're going to go ahead and continue with Return as the TM that we would give up to any trainer that would pass our way. So I think Return is actually probably the best TM that we're going to end up with, so I think that's going to be our TM for the rest of the way for Gym 7 and 8. So if I don't bring it up again, sorry, but that's just like our final move. Gym 7 will pretty much stay the exact same. Not much is really going to change. Porygon 2 is still going to lead off and still followed up behind with Beware and Farafrig, but the only difference now is Snorlax is going to move off of our ace spot and we're going to put Ursaluna. I feel like Ursaluna's too powerful to keep off of that ace spot over Snorlax. Even if Snorlax has kind of been with us since the beginning of Gym 1, I just think it's a little bit too opportune to throw in Earthquake and just sweep sometimes. Gym 8 is going to stay the exact same way as Gym 7. We just need a little bit more depth in the middle of the lineup. There are a lot of really fun options for the normal typing, like Heliolisk and Sawsbuck and Cyclizar, but I think there's one that I really want to choose over the rest. And I don't even know if they fill a team need as much as the other Pokemon would be, but I'm picking Obstagoon. And I'm picking Obstagoon just because I like Obstagoon, and there's not much of another reason for that. So our final team for our little normal type gauntlet will be Porygon 2 as the lead, Obstagoon will be second, Beware third, Farafrig fourth, Snorlax 5th, and finally would be our ace Ursaluna riding up the 6th slot. Now, obviously, that's not exactly how everything would go. If you're going through a normal Pokemon battle, you'd switch everything out. I just word it that way because I almost think of it as like, I don't even know how else to describe it, but aside from lead Pokemon, it doesn't really matter except for your ace, which would be 2 levels or 3 levels above the rest. But I really find this team a lot of fun. I think it's a really interesting and fun normal type team. I think it's really good at showcasing how not basic normal Pokemon can be, because that is usually the exception, and I think even in Japanese it's named basic type. But when you can throw out a Porygon that can do anything, a Snorlax that can pretty much do anything as well, and a whole bunch of other really fun and useful Pokemon, and Pokemon that just can straight sweep you from left to right, I think no matter what, obviously it's a very good team, and also the team that I would want to use throughout all of my gym battles. So please, let me know how you guys feel about my team, and comment your teams below, and I will read every single gym that you guys have, 1 through 8, or anything like that. And please, also, let me know how you guys feel about this style of video. I'm not knowing how I feel really about it yet. It's gonna be something very different from what I normally do, since I just usually sit down and do Let's Play content, but I think it's a little bit of a fun mix-up to do every once in a while. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Can you tell me there's an issue? I see